Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 501 for the week of Tuesday, May 18th, 2021. Finally, took us a little while to start recording, but holy crap, we're here. My name's Ryan Higgins. Who's here this week?
Brock Sager.
And that's it. Hello,
and that's
Brock.
it. Hey, we've reached. We didn't number, but hey, we're back to classic.
We rejiggered ourselves back to our original podcast format. So
look you're now comfortable with the word rejigger.
Brock, I gotta say, I don't know why you've been recording on that other laptop. Your camera's better on this. Your audio is better on this. Like whatever that other laptop you're using.
Well, I didn't know if it like because I don't really have storage on it, and I don't know if it saves like if I have to delete stuff or anything. And it's the school Chromebooks.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. School can deal with it. Hey, we're gonna have a really short episode tonight. Our delivery for comics this week was somewhat delayed, so I'm gonna get up at 5:00 in the morning to go down to FedEx to pick up our shipment. I'm not going to stay up late at all tonight like we normally do, blabbing till like midnight. So we're gonna get right into this. You got a couple questions on Patreon and get out of here. So there really is only one news story, so we're going to cover this. We'll talk about this for a little bit. I got a couple other small things to talk about, but like I said, really only one big story this week, and that is if you haven't been paying attention to Warner Brothers and AT&T and WarnerMedia over the last couple of years, you'll know that there's some, they've had some
Have
issues.
You been listening to this podcast?
Yeah. I will never claim to be a super knowledgeable guy when it comes to the ins and outs of AT&T and WarnerMedia's or Warner Brothers was actually called Time Warner and the Time Warner merger. Yeah. I don't follow any of that crap. I only care about DC Comics and obviously the DC film and the DC movie stuff and TV shows and how it relates to all that. So I was somewhat shocked, but also not really, on Sunday night to find out, along with everyone else, that I'm gonna hopefully only my wording here is all correct. AT&T is going to be taking WarnerMedia, which includes, I think I had a full list here of most of the WarnerMedia stuff. Obviously, DC Comics, HBO, right? HBO Max, everything like from Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, all that type of stuff is part of WarnerMedia. So what will be forming is HBO Max, WarnerMedia, that whole group, and Discovery. This is Discovery Network, which has, like Discovery and Food Network and TLC and all that. These are very different types of media properties, but that is the idea, is that AT&T has generally been accepted, has no idea what they're doing when it comes to the actual content and production of any scripted or reality show stuff, any of the media. They are a telecom giant, but actually the making of the media is pretty outside AT&T's knowledge base. And so they came in and gutted thousands and thousands of jobs trying to basically make HBO Max, basically make their Netflix killer, and failed miserably. I mean, HBO Max is one of the most popular streaming platforms on earth, but it only has like 40 some odd million subscribers, which is not enough. AT&T is billions and billions and billions of dollars in debt. And
no, AT&T?
Yeah, that's again, most of this stuff is out of my wheelhouse. I don't, how all this works.
I just like watching John Offler just stick it to business daddy AT&T on Last Week Tonight. Like,
Yeah, $85 billion acquisition of Time Warner. This is from a CNBC article, which they've owned them for 3 years. So they are going to spin out Time Warner, which is Warner Media, and merge it with Discovery. And they are going to have a 71% ownership of the new company, while Discovery will own 29% ownership. So basically, they're taking Discovery and HBO Max, which, I mean, there's obviously much more to it than HBO Max, but that's sort of the intent here, is to take 2 streaming platforms and combine them into one even broader streaming platform. So this will be
like a singular platform for everyone to utilize.
Well,
like we kind of started out with Netflix.
Well,
it's like everything's coming circle, right? It's like, no, we want part of the pie, and then it's like, oh shit, and then it's like going back.
Well, yeah. This is not, Discovery did not buy Warner Media from AT&T. Discovery and Warner and AT&T are making a new company with a 70-30, 71-29 split ownership to pool all their content into, to maximize their streaming capability. So whatever we're supposed to hear the name of it this week. They're supposed to get some sort of announcement. This will be official.
HBO Max is going to change its name again?
This will be, yeah. This will be official next year, sometime 2022.
So we've had HBO Go, HBO Now.
Yeah, this
HBO Max.
Yeah.
So and then we're going to have what? Discover HBO.
Well, really, we're at the point now where they just need to like say, hey, why don't we just call this cable? Why don't we just call this streaming cable and just team up with AT&T?
No,
part of their direct TV package.
We don't want anything streaming cable, because I don't want to pay for anything Fox News.
Well, what I'm saying is we're just going to end up making. They can put this as part of DirecTV, and then we just have streaming cable, because it is. Tell me if these channels sound familiar to you. The Discovery Network, Food Network, HGTV, OWN, which is Oprah, the Warner Brothers catalog, HBO, CNN, TLC, the Science Channel, Animal Planet, Cartoon Network, HLN, Cinemax, Turner Sports, Magnolia, TVN. I don't know what those are. That's all part of Discovery. TBS, TNT, Adult Swim, and DC Comics. So this is the combined company, or those properties and more, obviously. Yeah. But that's the majority of the Discovery and Warner Media platforms. Now, that's the big story. We don't care about any of this. I mean, I guess I care about it to a degree, but for the most part, I don't, because we care about a section of this called DC Comics. So, hold on, I just dropped something. Don't eat that. There we go.
Hopefully your dog doesn't eat that.
Dropped a little Allen wrench. So, this was obviously the big news story for comic books this week, that after a rough 3 years with Warner Brothers and Warner Media and AT&T, and massive layoffs at DC Comics, now we have potentially good news. Now, I don't know what the short term is going to be like. Obviously, no one does. It's going to be years before, year plus before I think any of this really is confirmed.
Yeah.
There could be layoffs. There could be consolidations. There could be moving. Who knows?
Yeah.
However, AT&T, a telecom company, puts people in charge of media and content creation that generally that's not what they do. Right? Now, Discovery is a smaller brand. Discovery is a smaller streaming platform, but from all reports, it is very successful for what it is. Clearly, my interest in HGTV and Food Network and reality show stuff is zero.
Oh, Food Network is a huge,
but exactly,
right? Like
they are very successessul.
You're gonna get the Wonder Woman Bake Off show or something, right?
Well, and that is, they know how to create content. They are Therefore, all reality shows are scripted, right? Everything is scripted.
No, don't give it away.
So they're with Discovery. They're at least their ownership, and the ownership of Discovery is going to be David Zaslav, Zaslav, Zaslav.
Your guess on how to pronounce his name is as good as mine.
David Zaslav. So he is the. See if I get like an official. Do I have an official? He is the president and CEO of Discovery. He is going to be running this new company. And again, while I may not care about any of the stuff they have on there, it is a, from all reports, well-run, successful media company. And that's exactly what Warner Brothers and DC Comics needs. Now, they don't need telecom giants that want to come in and swing their dick around and think they can fight and think they can play with Netflix and Disney. It's just not happening, right? AT&T, HBO Max could have, and Warner Brothers could compete. They have so many brands and so many great old movies, but clearly the last 3 years has been an absolute disaster as far as AT&T goes. So the big question is what happens to DC Comics? And, again, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about the rest of this as time goes on, as we figure out whatever they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to rebrand HBO Max or call it something
Discover
else.
HBO. I'm calling it now. It's Discover HBO.
It should just, again, my biggest problem with HBO Max is HBO as a brand is still not. I mean, that's an adult brand. I don't think when I think HBO Max, I don't think Sesame Street and CNN. Like
no. HBO was always R-rated movies when I was a kid.
It still is.
Like I hear that, I'm like, I'm going to experience something that's adult.
Yeah, all their TV shows, they still are. So I just don't, I mean,
it's not a blatant brand as like Skinamax, right?
Well, I think the concern, they wanted a known brand. They just it would be just like saying, oh, we're gonna call this Sesame Street Online and then put Game of Thrones on it, right? It's the same problem. It's just you have this you have the content, but you're naming like the name. Fucking why is it not just called like Warner Brothers Plus or Warner Brothers or WB streaming? Whatever the hell they call it, something that's not HBO, because HBO is a very specific part of it. It's not everything. Warner Brothers, WarnerMedia, Time Warner is the entire thing, right? Disney is Disney. Disney Plus is Disney. Netflix is its own thing. It's become its own brand, right? So clearly to the DC people I know and the comic community, this was a huge shock. And of course, the usual suspects are out there screaming, oh, this is it. This is the end. They're going to shut down DC. No. Don't
they're shutting down DC again?
Of course. Don't be stupid. DC is one
of the most... a day that ends in Y? Because it's pretty much every day is on the internet with the comic book industry. It's going to die, right?
DC is one of the most important brands in Warner Brothers arsenal. They have media on every platform. The books are successful. DC Comics is a profitable company. It is a profitable arm of WarnerMedia. The outreach for the comics is the biggest it's ever been. They have scaled everything back, and hopefully Discovery can reposition people and make new hires to get things running a little bit better. Because I think when you lay off, I think they let off 10% of the staff, but they've done multiple rounds of layoffs prior to that. So I think a good chunk of Warner Brothers. I saw some estimate like AT&T may have laid off as many 50,000 people at one, like combined since the merger started, which is that's ridiculous.
That sounds about right. Because they have to save money, so they get rid of human beings,
right? Of course, but yeah, they need to rehire. They need to expand out. And personally, what I understand from DC is they a lot of people got let go. They have significantly fewer people doing much more work, and that can only run for so long. They need to really, they need additional bodies,
Yeah.
and I'm sure every aspect of Warner Brothers and Warner Media does.
Well, it's like, I mean, what they were getting rid of. I think the hard part when we were getting those layoffs the last year was, one, they were happening during a pandemic, and two, they were
Well, then
people
some
that
of them
have been
were
there.
before too. Some of them before as well.
Yeah, but like a lot of them, it was like they're getting rid of people that knew what they were doing and were efficient at what they're doing, right?
Mhm.
And so you're like getting rid of those people and then bringing somebody in, paying them less, yes, but they don't have the same level of experience.
Yeah.
Right. And so I understand for them it's an opportunity, but for the business it's more, I think it's more harmful than it is helpful. And I mean, honestly, I see that day to day when I try and sell DC trades because of all of just like, it goes from this to this to this. Like I try, like somebody came in and was like, I got all of the trades for Batman, but I never finished it. And I'm like, why? He's like, well, aren't they coming out with another one? I'm like, no, they came out with City of Bane was the next one. It's not a one that it's going to have the same spine as the rest of them that you've had for the entire Tom King run.
Yeah, I mean that's way out of the realm of like any AT&T involvement or anything like that. But there's bad decisions within DC for various parts of the company before the pandemic, during the pandemic. Now, there's obviously going to be problems. With this specifically, right? HBO and Discovery have they've got, what was the 64, about 80 million subscribers total worldwide. Obviously, Netflix is about 208, and Disney Plus is 100 million. So they're clearly they want to expand those numbers, and with the material they have, they should be able to. I would hope. I think for the DC part of it, we want as people, as retailers, just stability, more people working within the company, a successful use of their IPs outside of comic books. There's been a lot of start and stop with Disney, with DC Universe Online, or no, DC Universe Online. It's a game. What is it? DC? I don't remember what it's called now. What's the app called?
DC Infinite.
DC Infinite.
Infinite Frontier
and HBO Max, and moving everything around. So hopefully they can get this all just one company. There's a quote here. This is on the CNBC article where it says, the deal was now possible after Stansky collected many of Warner Media's various media properties under a single brand instead of selling its content to third parties like it had done before the AT&T acquisition. So the last couple of years, they've been slowly bringing everything back in-house. And, again, this goes back to the DC thing. Mm-hmm. It's always going to be in-house. It's not going to get licensed. It's not going to get licensed to IDW. They're not selling it. They're not shutting it down. They're not selling it to Disney.
Why would you get rid of the thing that's making the best, selling the best rated, or like selling the most of a single issue comic book in the industry for God knows how many years? Batman's been at the top for how long?
There is again, they're not getting rid of the comics. If they got rid of the characters, if they just dissolved everything down, I mean, I guess that could happen if they just completely dissolve Warner Brothers entirely. But that's like,
I guess I can take my Gotham City Sirens as princesses.
But that's never going to happen, right? I mean, these brands are too popular. Game of Thrones and Harry Potter and Superman and all that, like they're massive.
They have the prequel show for Game of Thrones coming out.
Yeah, of course, yeah, and that's probably a big part of what they want to latch onto, right? And make those make the shows, the experience for HBO Max or whatever it becomes a little better. But again, yeah, you're talking about letting go some of the biggest brands on earth, and it's 0% chance it's going to happen. Could they push more online? Could they get rid of the single issue comics? They could, but AT&T never did. AT&T was never going to, so I don't see why these guys would. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, why would you get? I mean, books are still being published.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would comic books not be published because of a merger?
Right, and that's okay. Well, again, the merger is the merging of these parts of these two companies is to get their brands stronger together, and getting rid of anything or selling it just doesn't make any sense. They're going to do more. DC when they I mean, it's not like DC is this forgotten thing in this. It's right. It's like HBO, CNN, DC. Like the logo is right there with the rest of them.
Yeah,
it is a very popular, very successful brand. That huge movie revenue, television shows, very successful television shows, very successful video games. Now the video game thing is interesting. I know Warner Brothers, their gaming group is kind of going to get kind of split. I wonder if AT&T is going to keep like the mobile stuff, and the other gaming division will go like with Discovery. I'm not sure about that. It would make sense if the mobile side stays with AT&T, because that's what they do. They do phones. But I
not very well.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I hear from people, and clearly yesterday and today were I did not hear anything bad or scary. It's mostly a lot of, well, we just don't know yet. But it wasn't like, oh no, this is a horrible idea. I think when the AT&T stuff was going on, I heard quite a few people being pretty scared about that. So, yep, DC is going to have some new owners. I expect the comics will stay pretty much as they are. I would expect there will be no change, anything comic wise, in the next 12 to 18 months. Hopefully they give DC a little bit of money to expand out, get a few new people working in, a couple new editors, a couple new people in the office. They definitely need it. I think all parts of Warner Brothers needs it. If you're watching a YouTube video and they're telling you DC Comics is going to be sold and shut down and going out of business, just find that subscribe button, uncheck it, and never go back to that YouTube channel again, please, because they have no idea what they're talking about. Okay? So there you go. DC is going to have some new owners. 29% new owners. Hopefully AT&T, my hope here obviously is that AT&T is like, cool, do your thing. We obviously don't know what the fuck we're doing. That's why we made this new company, to merge the stuff. You guys do it. We'll just take some of the money. And HBO, Warner Brothers, CNN, DC, all of these properties, Cartoon Network, they're all in a much better place in 2 to 3 years. It says mid 2022 they want this kind of finalized. They got to go through. They got to go to merger and do all the legal shit. It's going to take a year plus. Discovery Plus and HBO Max could be bundled or integrated. Could see DC Infinite being part of that. I'd expect DC Infinite will continue. Probably pretty strong. I know it's been a little slow to roll out new issues, but they're getting there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Good. I think good news. So yeah, that's all I got. I think good news.
I don't know. Like when I hear Discovery, I don't think of chopping blocks and layoffs and all that.
Well, again, my knowledge is zero. I did a little reading in some of these articles that came out because of this, and by all regards, everything I've read, they're fairly well run and successful, and they're not huge, but they know what they're doing. And that, when the AT&T thing happened, people were like, "Oh God, no!" I did not see any of this. now maybe people know stuff I don't. Maybe there's a whole bunch of bad shit about Discovery, and that'll come out in the next.
Well,
18.
Remember, AT&T's history was like, remember it was Pac Bell. Like, remember Pac Bell turned into AT&T. Like there's been like numerous times where we've seen what AT&T has done when they've done these types of merger things. So I think there was a what is it? Kind of a expectation of what AT&T was going to potentially do when they acquired, Time Warner.
Well, the AT&T as a brand has been quite tarnished in the last 20 years. Let's just put it that way. They're still a massive company, but I don't think people are like, oh, AT&T, my favorite. Like, I've had AT&T from internet forever. It's fine. Whatever. I don't care. Like, I don't think about it twice. But when I think of like, oh, the best run companies in America, I would probably assume AT&T is not on that list. But I mean, whatever. Well, I have Comcast. I also think Comcast isn't on that list, but it's like, whatever. I'll use it. I don't care.
You mean Xfinity? They had to change it from Comcast because it was so bad.
It's still Comcast, but the service is Xfinity, right?
Yeah. It was so bad they had to change the
rebrand.
Name.
Yeah, they had to rebrand. Yeah. So again, look, I don't watch TLC. I don't watch Discovery stuff, but that doesn't mean I can't.
Not yet, man. But once they have some of those superhero shows on there,
hey, I'm all up for various crossovers. That can be always fun. I'm sure I'm sure DC among all the properties is one of the easiest things for them to grab, and they don't have to generally deal with real people. They can do anything Superman or Batman related and put them on their shows.
Oh, they're going to pick up something where they just take a bunch of cosplayers and throw them into a house and reality TV show style, and it's like they have to compete and go to cons and do all this stuff, and like you already know they're going to do it.
That'd be fine. We'll see what they end up doing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it on that one.
We're going to go one other news story here I want to cover. We'll do a couple questions. Like I said, super, super short episode this week. Sorry, guys. This was actually an article on Bleeding Cool, but
he's not really sorry.
It brings a lot of stuff together that I've heard over the last really 6 to 8 months, but even prior to that.
I think the weird thing is you're starting to quote Bleeding Cool articles again. Like, are you okay?
When there is something worth, this is not bizarre. I'm sure. Well, actually,
internet speculation, rumors, bullshit.
It's funny because why don't I just read one of the questions here? This is from Kasra. He emailed me and he says, "Why does Rich Johnson of Bleeding Cool hate DC Comics so much? He wrote a news article about the merger and he seemed giddy that it could mean the end of DC Comics like most of his articles." Well, I did not read that article. I would not read that article because I know exactly what the article is probably going to say. And the reason these articles are written is because good news. What's up, Nico? Stop barking. Good news does not get clicks. That's why certain former comic artists that had runs on comics that I've read by Jeff Johns is all negative all the time, because that's what gets clicks. That's what gets hits on your YouTube videos. That's what gets you,
the negative gets the hits.
Exactly. That's
the positive.
That's how you con people into giving you like $500,000 on Kickstarter for some shitty frog comic. So that is why the articles, are going to be, they are going to at best question the possibility of bad stuff. At worst, outright tell you a bad thing is happening. And that's, if I thought that was the case, I would say it, but I don't think that's the case at all. When Disney bought Marvel, I was like, this is perfect. But people were definitely like, oh, they're going to shut down Marvel. Oh, they're going to cancel the comics. I'm like, well, how do they do that? They're not going to do that. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. They're going to go crazy and let Marvel be Marvel. And that's exactly what happened, right? They didn't change anything. And I'm sure my hope is, AT&T clearly had a big hand and a lot of people got laid off. And I don't know that AT&T made DC change anything. It doesn't sound like it, but they clearly let go a lot of people. My hope is Discovery can fix that. And I think there's an almost 0% chance.
It doesn't even seem like Discovery is really just fixing anything. They're just, like you said, they're coming together and making things, supposed to be making things better.
Right. No, again, from what I understand, they are fixing stuff because the management at AT&T, from all the articles I've read over the last couple of years, and a friend that had worked at Warner Brothers, so Warner Brothers management's been questionable, but AT&T has been horrific, and they just didn't know what they wanted. They didn't know what to do. They're changing left and right. There's no consistency. They're flailing. They don't know how to do what they need to do with the content and properties they have. And by giving Warner Media to a media company like Discovery, that, like I said before, by all regards is very successful, then hopefully that will mean success for them, which in turn is success for AT&T. They just hands off. Yeah. They lose their 30%, but they clearly don't have the leadership to.
They're licensing it out to Discovery.
I mean,
you guys do the work. We'll take. You're
not 100% wrong.
I know.
That is more like. So people said, "Oh, they're going to license DC to IDW." Like, this comes up every 6 months, and it's like, no, but you're actually not wrong. AT&T basically is not licensing, but they're losing 30%, 29% to have someone else do something successful because they can't. And this is the case, like with Marvel, with those IDW comics. Marvel just cannot get kids comics going. They've tried; it's never worked for them. So they have the IDW stuff. I don't think it does great, but whatever. They're at least trying. I think.
Well, I think for Marvel, the kids stuff was always it was always associated with like other franchise things.
Yeah, for their own.
Like
for their
Marvel
own
was
comics,
doing.
Yeah.
They weren't really doing anything for their own, and then when it was time for them to do it for their own, they were already branded as they didn't do kids comics; they did just comics, right? So
yeah, so I think they're going to. I think they're going to.
I know, Happy. I know.
Sorry, all my dogs are being super loud tonight. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, we're getting back to Bleeding
Dogs boost ratings. It's all right. The dogs boost ratings.
There is one other thing I want to talk about really quickly here. This is the Manga Drought of 2021, and it is not hitting, as the Bleeding Cool article says. It has hit. It has been hitting for a while. So I didn't want to talk about this briefly because we've had to deal with this in the shop as well. We haven't really done great with manga, but we've had way more requests for it in the last, basically since COVID hit.
I had like 2 people call over the weekend, 1 person come in.
Yeah.
Like specifically asking for manga.
Yeah, I mean, we would get people regularly asking, but it is now a daily, multiple times a day occurrence, right? We're a smaller store, so we just can't carry enough to make it worthwhile as far as, like we do the superhero stuff. There's just not enough. There's not enough room in the store for all the content. But that said, we have been expanding greatly the amount of volume number ones we carry. So we carry a lot of manga volume ones. And that obviously is what sells the best. And we'll happily order later volumes for people, although most people, will pick them up from Amazon or whatever. The problem is, good luck finding anything. Volume 1, the most recent volume, volume 37, doesn't matter what it is. Every company, small ones, 7 Seas, Kodansha, what the heck, Viz, every single major company is having massive stock problems. Volume 1s are coming back faster, but not as fast as they need. This is part of this is a warehouse shortage. Part of this is a paper shortage. Part of this is a trucking shortage and a shortage of we're still kind of in COVID restriction for certain printers. So there is just there is way more people buying, not enough content. This is from one of the editors, a manga editor, Ellen Winkler, said from January 2020 to January 2021, manga sales in the U.S. tripled.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
So there's slowdown of the printers.
Well, I know that they have a lot of like a lot of that's online, because I know the high school kids read a lot of it online, but then they transition into actually wanting to read it physically. And I think maybe being it on an electronic device for so long that they were like, oh, I need it physical. I don't want to read this. I don't want to look at a screen anymore. So I can see like on some like a little level where the spike would end up.
Well, when there's a new show, they're the shows are making books skyrocket in sales when the new shows come out. Basically every quarter there's like a new series of anime. And like Chainsaw Man's like the big one coming up pretty soon, and it's like good luck getting that. I can't even. Like, I mean, I don't mean like we can't get it for a week. I'm talking months and months go by.
Everything's moving to months.
Our back orders are canceled. We can't get more. And again, this isn't a comic store thing. Customers come in and I say, "Hey, yeah, sorry, we can't get volume 7 of this. Let me check Amazon." Oh, yeah, no, it's also $400 on Amazon, which means it's third-party sellers. And if it's that high, it's been out of print for months. There's nothing we can do. Nobody's going to have it. Like, you will not find them at a shop. You will not find them at Barnes & Noble. You maybe find a beat-up copy on eBay at best. But it's just the problem. This is going to be happening for quite some time. I'm happy comics and graphic novels haven't quite hit the same problem. Stuff's gone out of print. Marvel needs to print more, but
well, omnibuses had that kind of spike. I know, like there was a couple that went crazy expensive,
and they sell fast, right? I mean, so stores generally tend to not order enough of them. But I think they need to increase print runs on those, especially the first run print run. But again, there is just a limited number of ways they are able to ship this stuff, and workers and printers, and if you're a manga fan, subscribe. If you see a volume, buy it. It's this is not going to stop now. We're getting close to full reopening of the country. California is set for June 15th.
This is state, but then it goes by county.
Yeah. I don't know what the counties are going to do. I don't. As far as I know, we're set for June 15th. We go yellow tomorrow, and we go yellow tier in Santa Clara County, which is the least restrictive tier.
It's still mask.
Oh mandate, right? Mask is to the 15th, and I'm not going to take off the mask at the store. We're going to continue to mandate at the store for a while. Again, we'll see how quickly things turn around. The numbers are very low, which is great. But I'm still not ready to unmask and have people at the store unmasked. We'll probably give it a little while. It could be this year. I had no intention of doing it this year, but at the rate things are going down, it might happen faster than I think. Happy. I can't help you, baby. I don't know what you want. I can't help you. You gotta go. Just sit down.
She just wants to put her up to the mic. Let her talk into the mic. That's what she wants.
No, she's got her thing on. Here, you want a treat? You want that? There you go. Go see mama.
Oh,
I got nothing.
Great.
What do you want? I gave you something. I don't have anything for you.
Why is it, hey dog, you come over? Yeah, I see you walking away.
Dogs want our attention tonight. Yeah, so manga sales are crazy. Yeah, if you see some manga, go pick it up. That's all I gotta say.
Everything's crazy. Pokemon's crazy.
Yeah. Pokemon
issue comic books.
Did we talk about this? I'm like completely blank.
I don't
Did we
think
talk
so.
about this last week about Target stopped selling Pokemon and gaming cards?
No, we didn't.
Okay,
we did not.
Did that happen after we recorded last week?
Yeah, it happened after we recorded because I took my kids down for them to spend their birthday money.
Yeah.
And they said, on the 14th, we are no longer going to be selling Pokemon cards.
Yeah, and most sports cards. Magic is still going to be there, and I think Yu-Gi-Oh! But they are having massive problems with scalpers and large groups of people coming in on Fridays when things get restocked, the new sets. And people like the Pokemon Company, these things aren't rare. They're going to print more and more and more and more and more. But they just can't get enough out. The stock's absolutely ridiculous right now. But they stopped selling them because people were like pulling guns and getting into fights. And one of my customers works.
There's somebody who shot.
A couple of my customers work at a Target. I don't remember where they said they worked. And,
I think they are the Westgate.
yeah, I can't remember where they were. And they said that they there was a fight. I mean, their store wasn't the big one that got like a bunch of news stories, but their store got they had people fighting one morning for Pokemon cards, and they're like, yeah, this is ridiculous. Like these people are out of control. So maybe they'll sell them online, and that's it. Luckily, the Pokemon, we've gotten way fewer calls. It has slowed down significantly.
The calls have slowed down. It's funny. It's the calls have slowed down for all the actual things. Now the calls are still coming, or like now you see like the people coming in for the supplies.
Yeah, we've been able to get supplies pretty regularly. Just gaming supplies, no, but we don't do that stuff. So I understand that's still really hard to get. But for the comic supplies, we've been able to keep everything stocked. I know people on the East Coast apparently can't get like bags and boards, but I don't know what the fuck's going on because we have plenty of them. Like I don't have any issues getting them. So,
the supply trucks were hacked, and people are just going to try and put them in plastic bags now.
We got a couple questions here before we wrap up here. We got one.
Right, bring them on.
It's on Patreon, patreon.com/comic conspiracy. Kick us a couple bucks, and if you're a patron, you can ask us some questions. We got a thread where people can leave us questions on there. It's from Tim. He says, "Hey guys, are we getting an Astro City omnibus or compendium at any point?" I don't know.
Let me check Amazon.
Well, no, quick. I do not believe Astro City is at DC Comics anymore.
Really?
I don't think it is.
I thought it was a Wildstorm. It was Wildstorm.
It was, but I mean, it's owned by Kurt Busiek. It can go wherever it wants. It was at Image prior.
This is true.
I had heard rumblings a little while ago that some news is imminent, but it's going to be a while. Every Astro City comic's out of print right now. All the books are.
Oh, I literally looked on Amazon. The hardcover for the new edition of like Life in the Big City is like $500.
Yeah. There's zero imprint Astro City books right now. I mean, there may still be stock at Amazon or stock at your local shop or whatever. But
yeah, there's a handful here and there of like the paperbacks and stuff.
But as far as I know, things are not. Astro City is completely out of print. So
this is a question for Kurt Busiek.
Yeah, like I said,
on Twitter.
I feel like someone asked him. Why? I know I've asked him, but I feel like I saw an answer to someone else where he said that they're working on it. But
he's normally good about answering stuff that when it comes to like the actual physical product. Because like, remember when they had the red barcode on that one issue, and like he responded with, "Oh crap."
So as far as I know, I do not think Astro City will be reprinted. It would make sense either to have him do it himself or through Image. Obviously, those are the obvious answers. So, and a couple questions from Craig Anderson.
Craig. The P-Man himself.
He says, so Loki is all about fixing. Oh, this is about the Loki TV show. That is. He says Loki is all about fixing the timeline splinters caused by him grabbing the Tesseract. So, what are the chances are we're getting a Chris Evans cameo in that? I think 0. I think they'll reuse footage of him. I think maybe they'll shoot like something from behind of like a different guy.
Chris is always down for having fun with stuff, so you never know. There could be something. Yeah, he just seems to like have just a great time with the character. So I know he was like, I'm done playing him, but if you're like, hey, can you come down? And he was available, he'd probably do it.
Yeah.
Either that or he's coming back as Johnny Storm when we get the Fantastic Four.
I just don't. I just would not bet any money that Chris Evans is coming back in anything anytime soon. I know there's rumors about it, but there's rumors about everything. Who knows? I could see maybe him doing something in like the Cap movie, the Falcon Cap movie as like a cameo, but I would think that's it. I think he's done for the time being. Again, I know there's all sorts of rumors. Oh, he's coming back. Okay, we'll see.
He wants to play with knives first.
He has one more question, too. He says, I think we've discussed, but not quite in this light. I know there is a hypothesis that we're getting some version of Thunderbolts But what if they're all spinning out of the Disney Plus shows? So we've talked about the Young Avengers because they clearly have all the members of the Young Avengers.
Yeah.
He said, so if the Thunderbolts is spinning out of Disney Plus, what does that give us? Agatha, Batrock. Well, Batrock's dead. U.S. Agent, Abomination, Valentina. So Agatha Harkness. Okay, sure. Not really Thunderbolt style, but okay.
What about Baron Zemo?
Baron Zemo's the obvious choice here, right?
Yeah, like
U.S. Agent. Yeah, of course. Abomination is Abomination gonna be in?
It doesn't. You can throw anybody in the Thunderbolts as a bad guy at some point.
Like She-Hulk or something? Did they?
I don't. He might. I don't know. I don't know what they're. I heard something about Abomination coming back in some form. I have no idea. But it was like this is a rumor thing. Yeah, I'm like, whatever. Yeah. Until it actually like happens, or is like teased or in a trailer, I'm like, whatever. Because we haven't. I mean, they've been teasing they've had a whole bunch of stuff with Moon Knight going on, but we haven't really heard too much out of that.
We don't know anything about Moon Knight,
right?
Yeah, it's just that a show's happening. He also says Valentina, and she's obviously there. I think he's missing the obvious answer, which is the other Black Widow. Because
I don't know her name.
Yeah, I forget her name too.
Yeah.
The white Black Widow. Or the blonde Black Widow. What the hell's her name? I totally blanking.
I don't know.
I totally blanking what her name is.
You want me to look it up?
Because she's going to be in Black Widow too, so it makes sense that they grab her. And she's clearly the the Amanda Waller role of the Thunderbolts, if that's where they're going, because that's basically how they set her up in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, and does it all spin out a Secret Invasion? It could. Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
You have all these Skrulls running around. I don't know what they're going to do with Secret Invasion. I don't know how much
Yelena Belova?
Yeah. I don't know how much they're going to deal with. Again, I don't look at this stuff. There's 2 leaked show descriptions for Secret Invasion. I don't know. I don't look at it. I just know the comics. And I assume it's going to be like Skrulls. That's all I know.
I kind of learned just roll with it. When something that you like is mentioned, just enjoy it. Don't blow it out of proportion. I mean, if the CW wants to make an outsider show, I'll be perfectly happy. They've dropped enough hints down, over the years. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not like, oh my God, they're making an outsider show because of this, and this. Yeah, no.
They keep it. Yeah, they keep bringing stuff up about the outsider, but they've never done it. They've never actually done anything with them.
Yeah. They've had Markovia numerous times. They've had Black Lightning's in there. They've had a katana. Yeah. It's the ship was the Metamorpho from the past Arrow Island thing. So it's they've dropped plenty of hints, but it's I don't think they've ever had a real what's the word, a real good pathway to bring them about in.
Were they? You said something about Metamorpho?
Yeah, the ship in Arrow was Metamorpho, wasn't it?
No, you're thinking of Amazo.
What was the ship? Oh, right, Amazo, right?
Yeah,
that's
I was like, ship called Metamorpho. Yeah, no, that. Yeah.
It's Amazo.
But
I wanted it to be Metamorpho,
but it totally. I would kill for
an OG Batman and the Outsider.
Well, no, talking about Thunderbolts for the now for the
Thunderbolts,
the now redeemed what's his face, Baron Zemo. Yeah, a good redeemed Baron Zemo leading a team of cool villains. Yeah, but it's they kill Batrock. What a fucking waste. But Batrock. No, I just think he's not dead. That just makes it the most sense. Yeah, whatever. He leapt out of the way at the last minute. We just didn't see it. It's fine. Because why would you kill Batrock?
Leapt out of the way.
That trash.
He parkoured out of the way, baby.
Not for that trash terrorist on Falcon and Winter Soldier. You need to kill Batrock for that.
No, see what's going to happen.
Sucks, but
hey, what's going to happen is because it's a Disney thing now and it's a Lucas thing now. You're going to see his son pick up his dad's jacket or something, and then his son's going to be the new one.
I got linked multiple times to an article on Inside the Magic. I don't know if you've ever seen that site. It's a Disney site that
it's like a Disney fan site.
Well, a Disney site that Brie Larson has been cast as Mara Jade.
What?
And I'm like, you have to remember, Inside the Magic is the bleeding cool of Disney stuff. Fuck, dude, it might not even be the bleeding cool. Inside the Magic is like the
Daily Beast.
No, Daily Beast is just stupid. What are those like? Inside the Magic is really bad. They're really fucking bad.
Like the New York Post or something?
Like it's not quite we got this covered, but it's pretty close. And I follow them, and I really need to unfollow them because take everything that you see that comes out of Inside the Magic with a huge fucking grain of salt.
You mean a rock assault?
Yeah, it's rough. Just don't follow that site. Don't read anything on that site. Again, it's not as bad as some others, but it's mostly bullshit. Yeah, why do I follow them? I gotta unfollow them. It's really bad.
So are people like shipping Sebastian and Bree now for a young Luke and a Mara Jade?
Sure. Let me see if I can find it.
I mean, I have nothing against Brie. She played great Captain Marvel. I'm waiting for Captain Marvel 2 or Cap Marvels. Whatever it's going to end up being.
I don't know. Oh,
here we go.
Oh, fucking this! How funny is this? So Inside the Magic's article on Brie Larson playing Mara Jade. Guess where they got their info from? Fucking, we got this
Bleeding
covered.
Cool.
I'm telling you. Okay, unfollowing on Inside the Magic.
You gotta block it on your Twitter.
Unfollow. Go on my RSS feed. Inside the Magic. Unfollow. Yes, remove. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, done. I have unfollowed Inside the Magic. Holy shit. Boy, just don't ever follow any of those sites, please. It's holy god damn. All right. Yeah. No, Brie Larson's not playing Mara Jade. Sorry, guys.
Well, no. Okay, hold on. For entertainment purposes, do you think she would play a decent Mara Jade?
I think there's a 0% chance Disney ever uses Mara Jade. 0.
I know, but if they did and Brie Larson played it, do you think she would do a decent job?
How would she play him? Like, are they do like a flashback movie or something like that? Like, are they gonna have like a young? Are they gonna put her in Mandalorian or something like that?
They're gonna bring Sebastian in for a young Luke, and she's gonna be Mara Jade, and then they're just gonna go and
no.
They're gonna have these wonderful,
She's already fucking Captain Marvel. They're not gonna cast her as Mara Jade too. Like, no, that's not how this works. No. What the hell's wrong with these people?
A lot, and they're bored.
Stupid. It's so stupid. Okay, I'm done. I'm done talking about it. I fucking knew it. I know. I never read the articles, but I should have read it just to know that they were quoting that they were quoting. We got this covered. Because again, remember, we got this covered is pure bullshit, but 100% bullshit. Everything they say is lie. Every single thing it's made up. Every single thing. So
it's all clickbait.
It is 100%. So. Don't ever go to any of those.
I mean, I was surprised at the beginning of this year when I saw an Onion article pop up, and I was like, "Holy shit, they're back to normal."
Yeah, it's bad.
Like the Onion died for a while because they everything was just so ridiculous that they couldn't do anything, and then they're like making a comeback, man.
Yeah, Onion's great. It's great. All right. Sorry for the short episode, guys. I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We're going to wrap up. Thank you to our Patreon backers, Joe Duff, Craig Anderson at clearpathcoaches.com, Jimmy Rivera at the Social Forum Podcast, and Talon Bray. Thank you guys all very much for your support. Go to comicspiracy.biz.
Thank you.
Pick up some comics from us if you would like. And of course, patreon.com/comic-conspiracies where you can kick us a couple bucks. You can always find our episodes over at comicspiracypodcast.com, Apple Podcasts, and we are on Spotify. Give us a listen over there as well. If you would like to see Brock stuff, you can go to conspiratorBrock.com. And don't forget LeanneHill.com. That's my wife's website. You can see all her wonderful artwork as well as her stuff at Etsy, which is etsy.com/shop/LeanneHillArt. If you're on Twitter, you can follow myself at Ryan Higgins Ryan. Brock is Best Basement, BES Basement. And the store is Comics Con Store. Again, Nico, we're at the end. We're wrapping up. Every week, she knows.
She's got to get her opinion in, man.
She knows. She's like, finish already. Finish. I know. We're done. And check out Geekbox, which we did not record this week. Geekbox is pretty much on a bi-weekly basis right now. I've mentioned multiple times to Ryan, Scott, and Adam, like basically all they do now is play Final Fantasy 14. And I said, look, if you guys want to stream Final Fantasy 14 on Mondays, I will jump in and play with you guys for a couple hours every week. And
you can shoot the shit and talk.
Shoot the shit and talk. Exactly. You got to figure this out. If otherwise, we're only recording every other week. But that's fine. That's fine. We're all very busy. Me and Brock, we're going to be extraordinarily busy over the next couple of weeks, months with the warehouse, getting everything set up. So,
oh God, yes.
I expect we'll be recording like normal, but if for some reason we don't, that might be why, because we're dealing with warehouse stuff. That's all I got.
Hey,
I know, Nico. I know.
We're done. Warehouse.
We're done. Okay, we're done.
We can always record at the warehouse.
As
loud as we want.
Could, but no, we're not, and we're also not recording now. Goodbye, everyone.